Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. It could be a rainy night out there for you and your Valentine's Day date, but we're going to track the storms moving over the Ohio River Valley. We'll have more on that in a moment. But first, the latest on a group of hikers and the rush to rescue them from Oregon's Mount Hood. With bad weather moving in, rescuers raced to get 4 stranded climbers off Mount Hood, and new this morning, 3 made it down last night. But tragically, 1 climber lost his life. Let's take a look at where we could see more scenes like this. Very concerned about river flooding in a number of locations. There are some more widespread flood watches that are up from southeastern Ohio into West Virginia, including around the Charleston and Parkersburg areas here. Now, the rain right now is actually not up there. We've got rain a little bit to the south, where rain in Tennessee is continuing to move on in. A couple of thunderstorms are happening across southern parts of Illinois, western Kentucky, and then we've got those showers that stretch right back down through places like Memphis and Jackson, Mississippi. And there's more where that came from, too. So this is our forecast going forward through the morning. And you can see rounds of rain, and watch how they're repeating and training over the same areas. Not necessarily raining every moment of all day today, but showers continuing on the move. Pretty much I-20 and northbound, right along the I-40 corridor, and just along and south of I-70. In between there is where we're seeing some of the most persistent rain showers. I-64, another corridor that we're watching for that. All going to be slow rides because of the rainfall. And it's going to add up. When you see rain day after day after day in the same areas, it is going to add up. Another backstory to all of this is that there is some snowpack up to the north. That's going to be melting, and that's going to be getting into the streams and creeks and affecting the water table as well. And then we get into our weekend storm, and there will be some cold air coming in. So some locations watching a rain changing to snow up to the north. And that's going to be a complicated forecast, which we'll break down for you through the morning here. Meanwhile, just looking at the rainy side of things and the amounts that we're expecting, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, very widespread, and mostly because we just get this persistent rain over and over again. We're going to see that adding up to about 2 to 3 in just a couple of local areas. So Nashville, after heavy rain this past weekend, we've got more rain again today, and we've got that for you with a break on Thursday, but then right back into it on Friday and Saturday. And then it gets a bit cooler on Saturday. It's mild, temperatures in the 50s. The pattern that we're in is that the mild but more moist air, so more moisture in the atmosphere down here through the south, that's been taking over. And so that's going to be our main forecast track, is that we see the southern branch of the jet stream very active. Disturbances move through this. Air is warm, yes, but warmer air also has more moisture in it. So we are going to see more rain chance and more heavier rain chances here as well with this very persistent storm track. So as we watch this into the next 5 days, it's going to mean chances of rain over some of the same areas. Well, thunderstorms are a possibility. Right now, no widespread severe weather, but certainly that could be something that we watch for as we get into next week and just watching the instability start to rise. Rainfall in the next 10 days. This is not just the next 5 days. This is the next 10 days is going to add up. This is the European model. Heavy rain expected all the way from eastern Oklahoma through Arkansas up into southern Missouri and southern portions of Indiana and Ohio. And the GFS model is similar, showing a heavy rain signature. It's got a little different location of it, but regardless, I think the signs are here that this pattern is locked in. The rain is here to stay. In Nashville, your forecast getting into next week every single day. You thought this week was bad with rain. There is a lot more to come. March, so doesn't it, than February? Because you could have expected to be chilly in February. We're going to have it all this week. We start today with temperatures in the 30s, a lot warmer right now than yesterday at this time in Burlington and Buffalo. It is 25 degrees warmer as you step outside this morning. So today we're headed up to 40 in Buffalo, 58 degrees in New York City. Boston, that 50 is looking pretty good for your Valentine's Day, and temperatures overnight tonight, another mild one, dropping only into the 30s, 40s and 50s actually in the cities. And then we look at tomorrow's forecast, warming up to 67 in D.C. and Boston. If you round up, you're practically 60. All right, so we're going to talk about this story, trapped under a sheet of mud, unable to breathe. The Daytona 500. So we got to get you set up with that forecast right there. Looking ahead to the next several days, we're going to be watching the rain through the south and east. Not a lot of cold air to be found in the east. That's all in the Intermountain West. Great time to add up in the snowpack for skiers in Colorado. You guys have had 2 feet of new snow coming in. The champagne powder piling up in Steamboat. That's looking good there. But in the east, of course, we have the rain, and that's going to be coming in with a little bit of cold air to the north, and that could bring some snowy conditions on Saturday. That goes away by Sunday, though. Temperatures warm back up. Maine would be the only spot hanging on to that. And then again, we watch the northern Rockies for all the active snowy weather. All right, don't forget up on a scary situation But the plane can still fly under that circumstance, obviously. But still, scary, right? All right, let's take a look at what's happening on the ground this morning. We'll go to Texas with a live look at Houston. Houston, the sun is not out again this morning. You are under a dense fog advisory, so that means you're going to have to slow down on the roadways. There could be some delays at the airports. We'll take a look at that airport forecast. Houston, we've had it, right? Welcome back to AMHQ Early and happy Valentine's Day. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. The weather, not so sweet. We're going to start here in Nashville where it's happening. I was reading some of the Weather Service discussions about the flooding that's potentially going to happen here in West Virginia and southeastern Ohio, and they describe it as a complex storm system, and that's a great description. It is so complex. It's not just one storm that moves in and moves out. It's just a pattern that sets up and keeps us cloudy and showery and rainy and just overall not that great, although at least it's mild. We got that going for us, but we do have some showers out there and even a few thunderstorms in the overnight in this February up here into southern Illinois and southern Indiana, a few lightning strikes and rumbles of thunder, so that's probably a bit surprising to you this morning. We've got showers out there in Middle Tennessee heading over towards Chattanooga and Knoxville, and those will be on the move right through the early morning hours. The I-40 commute, you're in and out of the rain. If you are traveling I-64, in and out of the rain. If you're traveling 55 or 65, especially from Tennessee down into Alabama on 65, you're in and out of the rain, and that continues right into this evening. You can see how it's all just kind of along and north of I-20 and then all the way up to about I-70 and in between, and that same corridor, these showers are going to keep taking the same path. And they'll, expand out a little bit over the coming days, but for the most part, it's that same path over and over again, and we do watch for the rain to really add up. Now, a bigger side story is that by the weekend, we do have some Arctic air coming in with the cold. We could see that changeover rain to snow. We could even see some ice accumulation as well. So that's a story that we need to watch for you getting into your Saturday. But before we get to that, we've got a lot of rain to get through, about 1 to 2 inches, locally 2 to 3 right here into the Tennessee and Ohio. A lot of rain in the forecast. Already some flood watches are up in West Virginia and southeastern Ohio. So rain coming in there is going to be something to watch. Certainly with too much rain, streams, creeks, rivers already running up at Bankful. Now we look at your Thursday forecast, rain up to the north. Next system diving in across the north is going to play into our weekend weather system. So here's what happens. The colder air comes in. Chicago will see highs only in the 20s on Friday. That starts to seep into the north and east. Sort of a shallow layer of cold air at first. There'll be a mix of rain and snow, maybe some icy conditions. We'll have to watch southwestern Virginia. But that moves out pretty quickly and temperatures rebound after that above freezing by the time we get into your Sunday. And then we watch the west for the next system coming in. Now this Valentine's